I gotta record this before it gets really dark. And of course, I've left it until last minute. But hello, I'm Tommy. I'm scared. This video is taking a lot for me to press record. I've been delaying making a YouTube channel for a really long time. And 2 days ago, it was my birthday, and I did something really interesting that I don't normally do. I've decided to spend my birthday alone, and that was very intentional, and there was 2 things I needed to sort out. Number 1, I had to let go of a version of myself from a recent relationship where I shrank myself to be loved. I silenced myself and my needs so that I wouldn't be abandoned. And that took its toll on my perception of myself and my self-worth. And so with therapy and deep processing, I have processed now what that was all about. And on my birthday, it was the full moon, and I decided to have a prayer and meditation ceremony where I just let that go. And that just looks like closing your eyes and connecting within yourself and just intentionally letting it go. That was the first thing. The second thing that I had to let go on my birthday was chasing my family. So I come from an avoidant family where, if you're not familiar with avoidance, I'm sure we all are to a certain extent, because everyone avoids something. But avoidant behavior in general is generally people who avoid their behavior, avoid their feelings. And so if you're avoiding your feelings, then you're also avoiding accountability and responsibility for the decisions that you're making, because you're making decisions based out of fear. And in that, I was asking for my family to kind of show up for themselves so that we could be happy, so that we could be together. And I craved a lot of closeness, and it turns out that I think I may have been fantasizing. And so letting go of that fantasy, allowing people to make their decisions, was really hard for me. Because obviously I feel like, as I am stepping forward into this to create this, that I just have to fully commit, full send, and so I'm realizing the gravity of that. I realize that I have to let go of all the places where my energy isn't being received, so that I can pour it into things that are more creative. So that was the second thing that I let go on my birthday, on the full moon, as people do, apparently. And the next thing is, y'all don't know anything about me, but I'm a hairstylist in Vancouver. And I've been doing hair now for 17 years. And one of the things that have become really apparent as time has passed, or at least within the past 3 years, is I don't love being around people anymore. And that is doesn't really work when you're making people beautiful, and when they're sitting in your chair and you're giving people your energy all day. And for the most part, the one-on-one part, the part where the clients are in the chair, that's actually really easy for me. The part after that, interacting with everybody else, is something that I could probably do without. The consultations, the getting to know people, and I'm just feeling like the social mask for me is just becoming a lot of energy to put on now. And I just don't want to put it on. Yeah. So then I come home from work and I'm feeling particularly exhausted. And I'm not sure if that is a product of being in late stage capitalism, where we are essentially slaves to the government, where we pay taxes, being on the very bottom row of people that benefit or are oppressed by this structure, or if it's the modern technological age where we're becoming increasingly separated and polarized because of our phones, and maybe mom was right, maybe it's your phone. And I'm starting to kind of like, okay, cool. I'm stuck between old culture, where I show up to a location to work, I go to the salon and I work, and then new culture, where everybody's like online and like building a personal brand, and that is a little bit scary for me, because putting yourself online is scary. But I think that what I really crave is being part of a community where everyone is expressing themselves and creating something that motivates and inspires people to also be themselves, giving people permission to be your authentic self. And that's something that I want to build and be a part of. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So subscribe if you find that relatable. I want to come on here and talk about, just share stories about things that I've learned in my life experiences. I'd also like to document my current life, which is I'm hairstyling, and I just want to explore a different way of expressing myself and, documenting my life in a romantic way. And if there's followers on here, great. Otherwise, I guess this is just a video diary for me, and I'm okay with that too. So if you are a black sheep, if you've been exiled, if you are an empath that feels too deeply, or you feel like feeling too deeply is a curse, newsflash, it's actually a gift. I might be able to help you with that. Anyways, maybe comment down below if you can relate with any of these fears that I've shared. Otherwise, that's all I have to say. Bye.